what kind of impact are we really having, and how much difference does it really make?
The needs are so great. They're so great throughout the whole world.
What are we doing? Like, does it matter? Are we making a dent?
Sometimes I become very discouraged because the need is so big.
There's roughly 6 billion people on the planet, and 1.1 billion of those lack access to safe, clean drinking water. And then when I start thinking about, well, what if it was me? Well, what if somebody could help me? But they just said, what difference does it make? Well, for me, it would make all the difference.
It only takes one smile, okay, or one thing to make it all worthwhile.
I'd give anything for that. It makes a difference. In the lives of those people, it makes all the difference. But it comes down to you making one decision. And that is, will you share what you have with those who are in such desperate need? When we provide basic, clean drinking water solutions for people, we are helping to meet one of the most basic needs in all of life. Thirst Relief International's mission and goal is to save lives and change the world. We've been able to take clean drinking water to people in over 9 different countries, over 100,000 people actually, for less than $5 per person. Even that doesn't touch at the heart of really what it does until you get there. Until you get on the ground and you see the people who need the water. You see those who are, suffering.
See so many people every day that are sick, very little clothes to wear, very little food to eat.
It's just amazing. You start looking at some of the living conditions.
You'll go into an area and it'll just be a maze of houses.
There's no air conditioning, there's no fans, there's no electricity.
Living in an open environment, cooking their meals over an open fire.
A maze of drainage for stormwater, for sewer water.
People digging ditches with their hands, barefoot.
From our airport to the hotel, I think I was silent the whole time because I just couldn't believe what I was seeing out the window.
It's very hard to describe with words, and even pictures that you see don't really do it justice because there's smells and there's the sounds and there's just the whole environment.
Things that we just can't even imagine are norm for people. It's a survival mode. People have very hard lives, but they also have very basic needs.
It's estimated that Dar es Salaam has about 5 million people, and one of the greatest needs that they have is clean water.
One of the biggest issues in this world is that when people take in contaminated drinking water, it makes them sick, and then they need to drink more to make sure that they're not dehydrated.
It's just a never-ending cycle. And so that's why clean water is really important.
It's a very touching experience when you find somebody without access to clean water.
But because of the poor infrastructure, the water that comes here is not clean. So even the water from the tap, if they can get, is not clean.
It'll often be clear, but it will be contaminated.
And that becomes a problem because when people get sick, so rarely they connect that with water.
So it's very dangerous for people to drink water that's not been treated.
It creates a lot of illness.
One of the largest causes of deaths, especially in children, is from diarrhea.
On average in this place is called Kigogo, on average about 8 people die every year out of cholera. And cholera is a waterborne disease.
People die, little kids die, and just water is really a big issue here.
Really is just to meet people in their in the point of need. And the point of need here, the biggest need, is clean, safe water.
A couple of years ago, we had a significant event in our lives where we met some gentlemen from an organization called Thirst Relief. They actually approached us and seeing if they could help with what we're doing.
Thirst Relief International's mission and goal is to save lives and change the world. It's pretty simple, yet it's profound, simply because we're able to provide a long-term clean water solution to someone for less than $5 per person.
Our relationship with them became that they could fund the water filters. They would supply enough funding for materials and labor so they could be made and installed.
Thirst Relief International operates on a partnership model. What that means is that we're not all the dots, but what we do really good is we connect those dots. And we work together with people on the ground like Sun International, Todd and Ann Zims, and our other multiple partners around the world.
So it is very much like a partnership, because without Thirst Relief, we can't serve as many people here in Africa.
By working in partnership with them, we are able to achieve much more than we could possibly achieve if we tried to do everything on our own. And they're already here working with the people. They already know them. They know their language. They have cultural sensitivity and awareness, and they have relationships. And everything comes down to relationship. When you have relationship with people locally, you can get a lot done. You can help people understand those needs and why it's the water that's causing the health problems.
So that was a really cool blessing for us, and that support has continued.
They've been a huge boost in our funding.
And the reality is that money goes a long ways, especially if it's managed correctly and it's used for its intended purpose.
At Thirst Relief, we will utilize the technology of a bio-sand filter.
They're made out of locally available materials. They are low cost, easy to maintain. There's no working parts, so that it's appropriate technology.
We filter out the bacteria, viruses, and contaminants that make people sick by putting it through a filter that stands about the size of an office water cooler, and inside of it it's filled up with sand.
We fill it up to where there's 2 inches of water on top of the sand layer.
And inside of that 2 inches of standing water, you have what's called the schmutdecky, or the bio layer. When you pour in dirty water, the bio layer that exists inside of the filter eats out the bacteria and the things that make you sick, and what you get is 99% clean water.
We put the filters into a household, generally anywhere from 2 to 20 people. And actually 2 or 3 households could share one filter and get enough water to utilize for their drinking and for household use.
It's really amazing and very cost effective, and it's a long-term clean water solution. We also dig wells. We also use siphon filters and whatever technology is the proper technology for the need. Siphon filter is a very simple, small filter that uses a small ceramic candle that in essence filters out all of the bacteria, the viruses and contaminants that make people sick. Whether we dig a well that serves thousands or a bio-sand filter that serves maybe 10, the numbers really come down to the average is it costs about $5 to provide a long-term clean water solution for somebody in need. Most people probably think, oh man, if I get $5, what really happens with it? What really happens with it is $4.50 of it is providing clean drinking water to somebody in need.
So it's used to make filters, it's used to dig wells, and the money that's given through Thirst Relief is managed, and it actually gets to the people that need it. And it makes a big difference in people's lives.
One of the really cool things that we do through our water projects is we also provide jobs for nationals. Without the nationals who are doing the labor of building the filters, sifting the sand, installing filters, digging wells, helping to deliver and install siphon filters, we really wouldn't be able to do what we do. It's a team effort all the way, and it's really great to be able to provide those jobs for locals who also have relationship with their neighbors and can help us to get the clean water solutions that are so desperately needed. Really, it just shows kind of how the whole circle works together to do more than we could possibly do if we were trying to do it on our own. Pastor Mamungu is one of the most humble people I've ever met. The gentleness, the tenderness, and the caring spirit is evident when you meet him.
Jina langu naitwa Rupakisio Mwambungu.
See, Thirst Relief is a humanitarian organization. We're a humanitarian organization only. As far as every dollar raised goes for nothing more than clean drinking water. We also love knowing that when we partner with people like Sun International and Pastor Mambungu, that we're actually helping to meet people's deeper spiritual needs as well. Pastor Mambungu actually helps make, he makes a living. He's earning an income while he's building filters at the filter workshop.
Tukiwa tunasaidiana juu ya kutengeneza na pia kwenda kustore filter.
But then he's also going out and helping to deliver those filters. He's helping to bring those into people's homes.
Pia kwa ajili ya kanisa zima, nalo ni kanisa ambao wameitikia sana swala la maji kwa sababu ni kitu ambacho wamekiona faida yake na uzuri, na kila mmoja ameitikia kwa ajili ya kuhitaji chujio za maji.
And while he's there, he's caring for people, he's getting to know them, he's asking what their needs are, he's praying for them.
Tangu nimejiunga na Thirst Relief, familia yangu imetengenezwa vizuri na pia kwa ajili ya jamii inayonizunguka imenirahisishia kuwafikia kiroho na kimwili.
When you think about his generous heart, knowing how much he has given to those around him, knowing that he has taken from his own income to help build his church, and when you look at his own humble living conditions and the way that he lives almost on a daily simple survival mode, it's really humbling to see that those are the type of people that we're partnering with to help change and save lives around the world. When I look at the smiles of the African people, it puts a smile on my face. Some of the most beautiful teeth and beautiful eyes when it comes flaring back at you when you make eye connection. And you know, there's a lot of hurt and there's a lot of pain in some of those eyes, but there's also a lot of joy.
And you know, their needs and their wants and their dreams, they're the same as ours.
It still amazes me, the spirit, the human spirit, the spirit of children.
I see my child in every little kid, and that includes the children that I saw here.
I look at the hugs and the affection and the fact that everybody just wants to feel loved. Everybody wants to feel safe. Everybody wants to feel healthy and happy.
Making a difference really means something when you see the similarities, because the mothers are no different than my mother or my wife.
So they're not different than us, they just live a different lifestyle in a lot of ways.
Until you actually see it for yourself, you don't realize the need that's in this world.
There's still that look of hope where, you know, they can be healthy and they can live their life.
And so we thought probably if we bring a filter here, a simple filter, it will be very useful to them. And surely we have seen some impact.
Kwa upande wa chujio za maji, sijasikia kwamba kuna mtu ameshikwa na typhoid pia au minyoo.
Of the people that we have already worked on, none of that family have been infected with cholera this year. Because of the filter, because of the clean water that we provide people.
There are some wonderful things that are happening here in Tanzania that we're blessed to be a part of, and blessed to be part of the facilitation to make that happen. People are getting clean water, which is really important.
It's amazing to see the gratitude, the thankfulness that people have.
In their opinion, they're getting miracles, because things like having a water filter brought to their house, having people care about them, and helping them and teaching them, they don't happen every day.
You really feel like you did something. You changed their lives, and this is really, really, really neat. It's really, really good.
As long as I'll be here, I'll be able to reach out to as many people as I can, provide as many filters as I can to as many families as I can.
And so it's really wonderful that we can be a part of that. And we can be a part of that because of people like Thirst Relief and people that want to support the water projects and really have a heart for helping other people.
It brings life to Africa because it is so needed.
I'd like to thank everyone in Thirst Relief for helping me reach out to the community, providing clean water. And together, we are saving lives and changing the world.
For that person, it would mean everything. It would mean life, it would mean death. It could mean joy, it could mean peace. It could mean health, it could mean happiness. But it comes down to you making one decision, and that is, will you share what you have with those who are in such desperate need?